Ideally, science prefers things to be seen, to be measured, to be photographed. But sometimes, the most convincing evidence for existence comes from the things we cannot see. For the last decade, astronomers have been haunted by a ghost with the mass of 10 Earths, a ghost that is currently dragging the entire architecture of our solar system out of alignment. We call it Planet 9. For years, it was dismissed as a myth, a mathematical glitch, wishful thinking by scientists mourning the loss of Pluto. But today, the story has changed. We are no longer just guessing it's there. New data has narrowed its hiding place. New simulations have ruled out the coincidences. And a new machine, the Vera C. Rubin Observatory, is about to open its eyes. We are standing on the precipice of the greatest astronomical discovery of the 21st century. We know what it is. We know why it's there. And for the first time in history, we know where to look. This is the story of the hunt for Planet 9, and why the search is finally about to end.
To understand the birth of Planet 9, we first have to talk about a death. The death of planet Pluto. In the early 2000s, an astronomer named Mike Brown at Caltech was on a rampage. He wasn't trying to kill Pluto, he was trying to find more planets. But what he found instead was a chaotic mess. He discovered Eris, Sedna, Haumea, Makemake, objects that were roughly the size of Pluto, floating in the Kuiper Belt. The logic was cold and undeniable. If Pluto is a planet, then Eris is a planet. And if Eris is a planet, then we might have 20, 50, or 100 planets in our solar system. So, humanity made a choice. We redrew the lines. Pluto was out. We were left with 8. But in that chaos, Mike Brown and his colleague Konstantin Batygin noticed something strange, something that shouldn't be happening. Look at these orbits. These are the most distant objects we know of. Sedna, the Goblin, Biden. In a normal, chaotic universe, these orbits should be swinging randomly in all directions, some tilting left, some right, some up, some down. But they aren't random. They are clustered, like a flock of sheep huddled together in a storm. Batygin, the skeptic of the duo, tried to break this. He ran simulations to prove it was just a coincidence. Maybe it was observational bias. Maybe we were just looking in the wrong places. But the math pushed back. The probability of these 6 distinct objects sharing this exact orbital alignment by pure chance was approximately 1 in 15,000. Or about 0.007%. In physics, when you see a flock of sheep huddled together, you don't assume they just like each other. You look for the sheepdog, or in this case, the wolf. Brown and Batygin realized that the only thing massive enough to shepherd these objects, to force them into this unnatural alignment, was a planet. A planet roughly 10 times the mass of Earth. an orbital period of 10,000 to 20,000 years. They published their paper in 2016. The world went crazy. But a hypothesis is not a discovery. To prove it, they needed to see it. And that turned out to be the hard part.
You might be wondering, if this thing is 10 times heavier than Earth, a literal super-Earth, why haven't we seen it? We have telescopes that can see galaxies billions of light years away. How can we miss a giant planet in our own backyard? It comes down to the brutal physics of reflected light. When we look at a star, that star is a light source. It shines. But a planet? A planet is a mirror. For us to see Planet 9, sunlight has to travel all the way out there, bounce off its surface, and travel all the way back to us. Planet 9 is estimated to be 20 times farther away than Neptune. Because light intensity drops by the square of the distance, by the time sunlight hits Planet 9, it is incredibly dim. By the time that dim light bounces back to Earth, it is millions of times fainter than Pluto. But the problem isn't just brightness, it's location. Finding Planet 9 is not like looking for a needle in a haystack. It's like looking for a moving piece of black coal held up against a black sky while looking through a drinking straw. For years, astronomers feared that Planet 9 might be hiding against the backdrop of the Milky Way galaxy. If it is, the sheer number of background stars would act like camouflage, making it nearly impossible to spot. We have scanned, we have looked. Surveys like Pan-STARRS and the Dark Energy Survey have covered large chunks of the sky. They found nothing. This silence gave rise to the skeptics, and the skeptics had some very interesting alternative theories. If we can't see it, maybe it's not a planet at all. In 2019, physicists Jakub Schultz and James Unwin proposed a radical idea. What if the gravity isn't coming from a rock? What if Planet 9 is actually a primordial black hole? Not a stellar black hole formed from a dying star, but a relic from the Big Bang. A tiny pocket of crushed matter, roughly the size of a grapefruit, but with the mass of 5 Earths. It would explain everything. It would have the gravity to align the orbits. It would be invisible to our telescopes because it doesn't reflect light. It would be the perfect ghost. It's a fascinating sci-fi concept, but science requires us to exhaust the mundane before we accept the exotic. And recently, the evidence has swung back heavily toward a planet. In late 2021 and continuing into 2024, Brown and Batygin released a massive update. They didn't just look at the orbits anymore. They ran thousands of computer simulations to exclude observational bias. They effectively created a treasure map. They ruled out where Planet 9 cannot be. They ruled out the zones already scanned by Pan-STARRS. They ruled out the zones destabilized by Neptune. What was left was a ribbon of sky, a specific path. And most importantly, they calculated that Planet 9 is likely near its aphelion, its farthest point from the Sun. This explains why we haven't seen it. It is at the darkest, slowest, and most distant part of its journey. It is literally hiding in the shadows. But shadows cannot hide from the next generation of technology. High in the Chilean Andes, on the summit of Cerro Pachon, a beast is waking up. This is the Vera C. Rubin Observatory, and it was built to hunt ghosts. This isn't just another telescope. It houses the largest digital camera ever constructed for astronomy. It is the size of a car, 3,200 megapixels. Most telescopes like Hubble or James Webb look at the sky through a pinhole. They see deep, but they see narrow. The Rubin Observatory is different. It is a wide-angle beast. It is designed to photograph the entire available southern sky every 3 nights. It will create a movie of the universe. It will record everything that moves, everything that flickers, everything that changes. If Planet 9 is out there, roughly within the treasure map zone predicted by Brown and Batygin, the Rubin Observatory will catch it. It won't look like a glorious blue marble at first. It will look like a faint, shifting pixel moving against the background stars. But that pixel will change history. The observatory sees first light in early 2025. The full survey begins shortly after. Mike Brown has gone on record saying he believes Planet 9 will be found within the first year of Rubin's operation. So, what happens if we find it? First, the textbooks get rewritten. We go back to 9 planets. But more importantly, we solve a missing link in our understanding of planetary formation. When we look at other star systems in the galaxy, the most common type of planet we find is a super-Earth. Planets bigger than Earth, but smaller than Neptune. Yet, in our own solar system, this type is completely missing. We have tiny rocks, Earth, Mars, and gas giants, Jupiter, Saturn, nothing in the middle. Planet 9 is that missing link. It completes the family portrait. It tells us that our solar system isn't a freak of nature. It's normal. It just exiled its middle child to the attic billions of years ago. There is also a psychological shift. For the last century, we have felt like we have mapped the world. The age of exploration felt over. The maps were finished. But the discovery of Planet 9 would remind us that we are still ignorant, that even in our own home, there are monsters hiding in the dark. We are closer than we have ever been. The math is solid. The location is narrowed down. The telescope is ready. Skeptics still exist, and they should. Science requires skepticism. Maybe it's not a planet. Maybe our understanding of gravity on this scale needs a modification, modified Newtonian dynamics. But I want you to imagine the moment. It's 2025. A notification pops up on a screen in Chile, an automated alert. An astronomer spills their coffee as they zoom in on a faint, moving dot. In that moment, humanity expands. The solar system grows, and the ghost finally becomes real. The search is almost over. If you want to stay updated on this discovery as it happens, make sure you're subscribed, because when that news breaks, you're going to want to know.